Hello, Katrina.
Hello.
Thanks for being interviewed today.
Thank you for having me.
So, what is the first thing you do when you get to your studio?
I usually have a list of things that I'm making or intend to make. So when I get into my studio, it's just getting onto the thing that's either in the middle of currently being made or starting something new that's on that list. So it's usually very straightforward for me.
What are and how important are the tools and materials that you use for creating your work?
Lately, I've been trying to focus more on readily available materials and trash in particular, so reusing what others would deem as garbage. But coming from a predominantly painterly background, I do have a large quantity of amassed painting tools as well that I'm working my way through. So that's kind of currently been what I've been using.
When are you most productive?
Afternoons and evening times. Even if I wake up early in the morning, I don't tend to do anything very productive until after lunch. And then there's something about working late in the evenings and at night, especially when like the city's quiet, my phone and all my devices are not blowing up with notifications anymore, because I tend to be involved in several projects at the same time. So yeah, I just think the quiet of the evening and nighttime really suits me.
Why did you want to do the MFA course?
I was determined to do an MFA course because I knew that this career path is something that I take very seriously, and I saw that doing one and participating in a course like this, especially in a course that's structured specifically like this one and has such an emphasis on the studio practice and gives so much time, it's like 2 years full time, to just being able to make work and having the space to do so was very important. And then also there's the aspect of wanting to belong to a community. It's really hard to establish that when you leave college from the BA course, for example, and then the difficulty of finding a studio space within a collective or some organization. There's waiting lists, there's other barriers to joining spaces like that depending on where you live. So I really saw the benefit of doing an MFA course.
And what have you learned while on the MFA course?
Mainly, I've learned to trust myself more, and even though the ongoing dialogue within my mind is gonna be something that's gonna continue, I think, long term, on, you know, things like what's the value of the work, why am I making it in the first place, how do I make it better, all of that noise. I don't expect it to stop anytime soon, but it's really through this course that I've been able to better assess this conversation within my head.
And who is your work made for?
See, I have the perspective of a lot of people answering this question saying that it's mainly for them. Even though I can recognize the therapeutic, cathartic qualities of having a practice, and I do agree with that for me it's very much, I do it because I like making work. Like, I would make art regardless of, even if I was a professional artist, I'd say, because that's what I was doing like all throughout me growing up before that anyway. But I think I have established a more conscious decision of also having my practice be aimed at, for the purpose of it, questioning the status quo and the public and just perceptions of all these views that we have about how we live on planet Earth as a species. So that's my convoluted answer.
Yeah. And what has remained constant in your practice despite the pandemic?
making things. Yeah, this is something that I think resonates with a lot of us.
And what does your studio mean to you?
Oh, it's everything. It's like an extension of my inward into the outward environment. It is a physical place where the things that are in my head and in my gut get to expand into and evolve. It is a place of great conversations as well. It is both a safe space and a challenging place. It is largely, just like an extension of my personality almost. I cannot imagine myself not having a studio. Like, it's just, I guess for some people it might be a car, but for me it's a studio space. That's like a priority in my life.
And do you have any advice for art students or MFA students who are going to do the course in particular?
Keep questioning both your sources of inspiration, criticism, and motivation. Sort of continually keep an eye on how do you reflect on all of those things when you take them into consideration of you making work. And then for MFA students specifically, I'd say, especially if you're going to start this course, be prepared for the unexpected to happen. I came into this course with a lot of determination of what I thought I was going to make and what I thought I wanted my practice to be and become at the end of this course. But something happened with the conversations that I was having with the tutors specifically that made me switch in my brain this kind of set of preconceived notions and rules that I had built in. And it really expanded my horizon of just how I perceive things, how I then implement all these resources and knowledge that I've accumulated. So yeah, just be prepared for, don't be a rock. Be like water.
Or like Una's soft rocks?
Yes, yeah.